And this guy was the nicest guy you would ever meet. Super sweet, like very educated. And I thought to myself after he left, I'm like, why did you think that? Like you didn't even know the guy, and you just automatically assumed just because he had a ton of tattoos that he was this sort of guy. So this is going to be the main part of the message. That's like the main part of this message, is what it's going to be about. So God is our author. We are all the clay, and he is the potter. Then the word of the Lord came to me. He said, "Can I not do you, Israel, as this potter does, declares the Lord. Like clay in the hand of a potter, so are you in my hand, Israel." Jeremiah 18:5-6. So we're the blank pages, right? Once we're started out at birth, we're the blank page, and God is our author. And sorry, I lost where I was at. Okay, that's where I was going. All right, so we're the blank pages, and he's our author. And there's this show called Once Upon a Time, and it's where it's about a bunch of stories, a bunch of fairy tales, Robin Hood, Cinderella, the girl from Tangled, I don't know, Rapunzel? Yeah, her. Yeah, long-haired chick. And all this, throughout the whole show, it starts out, and there's like this savior, and it comes and helps Storybrooke. But throughout the whole series, they do flashbacks of how they met, and the whole movie or show entangles. Like they're all connected at the end. And that's how our lives are. Whatever choices they made and decisions they made, and all of the people they came in contact formed this whole story. And that's the way that it is in our life. The people we come in contact with, like I wouldn't be here if I didn't come in contact with Rick and Sherry, or if my grandpa wasn't a pastor and kept me in church. And it's just everything, every person we come in contact with, all the decisions we make, and how we live our life, all plans out into our big story. When we were born, you have a blank, pure book. Adam and his wife were both naked, and they felt no shame, Genesis 2:25. So, as I said earlier, when we're born, we don't feel shame. We don't, oh, I need to lose weight, or I need to be like this to please others. We're just pure. We just live our life just to be us. And that's what I think God wants us to do. See, in the beginning, Adam and Eve had no shame. The way they looked, talked, acted, they were just comfortable in their own skin. They lived a pure life until they made a bad choice and changed their cover. My book cover has changed over the years. When I was young, my book cover was Superman. Should be a book. See, I think it resembles Superman very well. I mean, it's very canon. But that's me from my wedding, if you guys weren't there. I thought I was untouchable. I feared nothing. And as a kid, I thought, like most other kids, I couldn't be hurt. I couldn't do anything, or I could do anything and face anything without fear. I lived innocently for the most part, but I cared little what people thought, and at that age, I was naive to worldly views. This is like before Adam and Eve ate the forbidden fruit. So now we're into where Adam and Eve ate the fruit and then they heard God come into the garden, and they were scared. God called to the man. "Where are you?" he said. "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid." God said, "Who told you you were naked? Did you eat from the tree I told you not to eat from?" And to me, that, who told you you were naked, that blows my mind. Because before they ate the fruit, and they knew, just like us growing up, they knew that they didn't know that they were indecent. They just lived life. But then when they ate the fruit, they knew, oh man, God's coming, and I'm naked, and I need to cover up. So it just like blows my mind. See, Adam and Eve went from knowing they were naked, or not knowing they were naked, or they had no knowledge of being indecent or shameful, from not having their bodies covered, to shame and embarrassment. They changed their book cover from blank and pure to a cover of shame and embarrassment. At a young age, we were innocent and naked and don't care what others think, because at a young age, you are not teased or ridiculed about the things that you do. So you all know that Chris and I have a young girl, Annika. She could care less what other people think. She does her, and there's been times where we had to change her in public, and she just thinks it's hilarious. But you wouldn't catch me dead changing in public. But she's so innocent and pure that she doesn't know that people are like looking at her. She just thinks it's funny. But when we grow up and get older, people look down on being innocent or being naive to things in life and to the worldly views, because we want to live our life to please others. So we change our book cover to kind of please others when we should just keep it and change it to please God. So it was a story. So we were at the zoo and we had to change her, and she was laughing because she kept trying to get out from underneath the towel. It was hilarious. Sorry. So it's like Adam and Eve. Their book cover was blank. But then when they ate from the fruit, they understood that they were naked and hid in shame from God. As people get older, we develop an emotional strive to please those around us, so much that we will change who we are. When people tease us, how we are living, how we dress, talk, look, we feel like we need to change to fit in or please those who make fun of us. So before I gave my life to Christ, it was in 2008, I changed myself to please others. I was a pleaser. I'm a people pleaser. I still am. I mean, it's a fault that I have. I don't like telling people no, but I just changed myself. And then after I got to know more about God and my relationship furthered, I noticed that this isn't what God wants me to do. He wants me to be me and to live my life through His will and not through the world's eyes. And then after that, I got better friends. I got Caleb and Christian, which they've been my friends since elementary school. And I hope and pray that nothing happens. We continue to be friends until we're all sitting in a nursing home, yelling at younger kids, or grabbing them, being like, "Come here, sonny." And I always said I would be a great old man. And I want to be the grumpy old man that's like bearable, but on borderline, like this guy's crazy. I don't know why. We change our book cover so someone will pick us to read. When we pick up a book, most of us look at the cover to see if it is worth reading. So it's like changing. See, me, that's me. I pick a book cover, and if it's not appealing to me, right back on the shelf it goes. And Caleb, he's not that way. He'll pick up a book that has nothing on it but the author's name and the name of the title, or the title of the book, and he'll be like, "Oh man, this, like, you have to read this." Me, I'm like, you know, it doesn't have a cool picture on the front. There's no pictures inside. It's not kind of my kind of thing. The spirit shrieked, convulsed him violently, and came out. The boy looked so much like a corpse. Many said, "He's dead." But Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him to his feet, and he stood up. After Jesus has gone indoors, his disciple asked him privately, "Why couldn't we drive it out?" He replied, this kind could come out only by prayer." Many people look on the outside of us and say, "Oh, they're dead. They have no use to us in this world." But Jesus sees us and makes us alive. He shows them that they are alive. We are worth something. We all have a purpose. They are all worth dying for. This is where my favorite part of God comes in, His love. I told Christian today, he knew it, he called it. I was like, you guys thought that Preston could come up here and preach and not talk about his love. Wrong. That's my favorite thing about God's love. We look at other people and they're like, oh man, they're dead inside. No one's around them. They're angry, bitter. But then through God's eyes, that person means something to Him. That person is worth dying for. And that person is His Son. But sometimes we don't take the time to stop and open the book and read what's on the inside. We just look at it from the outside, and if we don't like it, we put it back, and we don't ever bother picking up and reading it. And I struggle with that too sometimes, and like you all know, I'm a social butterfly. I don't mind talking to anyone, but there's just some people that I see it, I'm like, I'll just pass it on, you know. And then later on I feel guilty because that person isn't nothing. Just because I don't know that person or that person isn't special to me doesn't mean that I shouldn't give my time to them, even if it's like 2 minutes. There's a couple of times this weekend where we probably gave money to scammers, but I mean, we gave time to them, and maybe we bought their gifts for their kids or something, I don't know, but it's just, now I feel like I don't go to everyone I see, but if they want to stop and talk to me, like this guy at Tire Barn, Jared, he said he doesn't get along with them, but heck, me and him, we kicked it off. And he's like, I'm just trying to take care, or he's like, well, why do you need me out here? I was like, I don't know, you just told me you wanted to talk to me, and I'm all for talking to someone. So, but me and him, we kicked it off because I gave him time, and he gave me his time. And we killed it. It was awesome. Sorry, I need to highlight where I'm at. Okay, there we go. Yeah, God's love, that's where we're at. Yeah, right? Big shocker. So we should love the loveless and forgive the unforgivable. We shouldn't just look at someone and their book cover and just put it to the side, because sometimes they might look good on the inside, but the content, or on the outside, but the content of the book is full of hurt and anger. Or if the outside tells you they are rude and hateful, maybe the book is full of loneliness, depression, and pain. So instead of picking up the book and not liking the cover and putting it down, we should take the time to open it up and read what's on the inside. As I got older and accepted Christ in my life, my book cover started to change. I started to live the way I should have. I didn't care if anyone thought bad about me. I was just myself, and I noticed I had more real friends than before. I started to exceed in my choices of career. People looked at me as a leader, not only in the workplace, but in life. I decided not to let those around me change my book cover to catch their interest. Once I decided to choose how I live and not being someone I'm not to please those around me, I couldn't make anyone happy if I'm not happy. See, a lot of people come to me and they're like, well, I'm just trying to make everyone happy. And the first thing I tell these people is, you can't make anyone happy if you're not happy. How are you supposed to make someone happy if you're not happy? That's like me giving you a sermon about becoming rich, but I'm not rich. Like, you just can't do that. And I'm happy with my life. I love my wife, I love my kids, I love my family, I love where I'm at in life, but I can go further. You're giving me a weird look, Kirsten.
Like you said, kids.
Oh, every week, Kirsten, you pregnant? I'm like, oh, I'll tell you. Anyways, kids, I love the kids downstairs. I like my kids. I'll take that. But we just need to know where we're at in life and where we can help people. That's what, later on in life, I want to become a youth pastor, because as a kid, I went through a lot of struggles, and I see that same stuff here in this church and other people's around me, and that's where I'm good at. and some of the kids like look up to me, and I take that very seriously.
Everybody looks up to you.
Yeah. Honestly say that. But I love it because I can help those that, if like there was a time where people were texting me about marital advice and I wasn't married yet, and I'm like, hey, I can't help you. I can help your kids, but I can't help you because I've been where your kids have been. I've been in that situation, and that's just my heart, is to help those that I can help. And if it's something out of my expertise, I'll send you to someone else. Construction, you have trouble with construction, go to Chris. Leadership, I'm good with somewhat, but if I can't help you, Rick. Sherry with Children's Church, and Caleb with music. So like I said, my book cover, we're going to get out here early. And I told Christian, I was like, I'm going to get so nervous. I'm going to blow through this. I mean, it's 2 pages. I mean, Rick does like 15, 16 pages and blows through it in like 45 minutes, but I believe no one's going to get mad at me for hitting lunch early. But like I said, my book cover has changed over the years of my life. First, Superman, to Broken and Beaten, and Fixed and New, and now my favorite book cover. Go to the next one. Oh, okay, no, go back. Okay, so this is a poet, Ralph Emerson? That's wrong. Emerson. Where's Caleb at? Okay, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Boom, right there. I saw that quote, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is it. Because the world is trying to change us. They're like, oh, you need to be prettier, you need to be skinnier, you need to be richer, nicer cars. But it's okay just to be you. It's okay to not have all the money in the world. It's okay not to have the nicest cars. Just love and appreciate what you have. Kristen gets mad at me sometimes because I'm like, I want a bigger truck, but I just have a brand new truck. But I appreciate my brand new truck. But I can want stuff. I mean, I know I'm not going to have it, but I appreciate everything that God's blessed me with, that all my family has blessed me with. And this, I don't think I try not to let the world change who I am, because I've spent years trying for that not to happen. Okay, so these next ones are my favorite book covers. Out of the way, please. Okay, so Rick and Sherry. If I haven't met them, and Rick hasn't pushed me to be the man that I am, I probably wouldn't be standing up here. And that's my wife and daughter and my in-laws, and they've blessed me as well. They've been supportive, and both of these families have. Even when I messed up dramatically, they've never stopped loving me. And they've always been there for me whenever I need them. All right, next. So this is my mom and dad. I didn't put a picture of my grandpa because I knew this would happen. But they've always been there for me. That's not my biological father. That's my stepdad. But he raised me as his own. And my mom, I'm a total mama's boy. She knows it. And she's always been there for me and helped me out whenever I need it. My dad pushed me to be a strong, good father and just to be tough in life when I need to be. And my mom taught me to be soft and kind when I need to be. Next. All right, this is my whole family from my side. Oh, here's my grandma and both my grandmas, my aunt, and that's my cousins and my brothers and my uncles. And every time I needed anything, they would help me out. Or like when I would travel to go see them, they would just open up. I know they're my family, but they would do anything to make me feel like I'm at home here. And just to see everyone there from my wedding, it was just a true blessing. That's my biological father next to Josh. He looks just like Jacob, skinny, little fella. I didn't get the skinny jeans, obviously. All right, next. Is there another one? These guys here. So there's my groomsmen. I'm tall enough so I can do this. This here is Kristen's brother, Brant. He's a super cool guy. Him and Caleb, they're like 1-on-1, man. They just need to hang out more, dude. But they're awesome. Brant, he's super cool. He's taught me new things in life, and he's always been there. Like, I look at him not as my brother-in-law, but just as my brother. I don't think of him as, or call him my brother-in-law, because he's, in the short time that I've been with Preston and them, like, I don't look at him or her whole family as my in-laws. They're just my family. And obviously that's Jared. Uh-oh. No, Jared's helped me out a ton, especially with car problems. I got pulled over and got a ticket trying to find when I first met him. I needed headlights for my Pontiac, and I got a ticket trying to find his lot. And I was like, hey, like, I got this ticket trying to find this, so he gave me the light bulbs for free. So that was good. And obviously Christian Caleb and Christian Hagsma. These three guys have been there since the beginning. They've always had my back. I remember all like the big talks we've had. I mean, these guys know more about me than my own parents do. I've told them things that my family don't know, and they've probably done the same. And I know that if I ever need anything or need someone to talk to or anything, they'll be there for me. And that's like true friendship. And it's past friendship by now. I mean, they're family. Sherry's like my mom, Rick's like my dad, and they treat me like their own son, which is good. And they keep me in line when they see me getting out of line, which is good. And without all of these people, I couldn't fit everyone on. I tried to fit everyone on one slide, but it just couldn't happen. But that's my book cover. My family, you guys, and I don't want that to change. That's what I want my end book cover to be, is this church and my family. Because that's what matters to me, and that's what I want the world to see. I want them, that when I pass, they say, like Rick says, I don't want them to say anything mean. Like, I don't know, I can't think of anything yet. But I want them to say that Preston was a family man. The family and church family was the most important thing to him. And I hope I come across that now, before I'm dead. And because you guys do mean a lot to me. I came here and I left my mom, or my grandma's church, and it kind of brought like some rough time between them. But then it worked out. I mean, they knew that this is where I'm going to grow, and this is where I'm going to be. And if I want to move forward in life with Christ, that I need to be here. And so I just want to let you guys think about your book cover. Like, when people look at you, are you okay with what they see? Do you want them to see who you really are? And I hope that the world doesn't change what they see on the outside. Because you guys are all beautiful. You guys are all handsome for the men. And I can say that. I'm secure in my sexuality. I mean, my wife secured that. So I can say, good-looking man. Yeah, first, Kirsten thought. But that's what if you guys get anything out of this, I'm sorry that I kind of like blew through it all. And I mean, you can breathe the lunch rush, I guess. But don't let other people change who you are on the outside. Be you and be the best you can be. Because God's love is consistent while our lives are inconsistent. And I love that. And we're imperfectly perfect through God's eyes. We know we're not perfect and we're never going to reach it. And I've learned that at a young age that I'm never going to be perfect. And I quit trying. Like, I want to be a good guy to everyone. but I'm never going to be perfect, and God loves me for that because He knows my heart's a God after His own heart, or a man after His own heart. All right, I think that's about it. Thanks.
That was a great job, Preston. And this is truly a Preston message because Preston does have a big heart, and he reminds me so much of his grandpa, which we traveled a lot with, and my husband actually has traveled all over the world with Preston's grandpa before he passed, and he is so much like him, his gestures and his big heart, and we love Preston, we appreciate him, and this is not easy to get up here and do. It looks like it would be, but it's not, and you did a great job, and we knew there's going to be many more of these days to come for you and your wife, and we know that God has great things for you and your family, and you will minister as a family. We truly believe that. My husband's tried to pour into him, and yes, even had to correct him a few times, and we just appreciate Preston. He's been here from the beginning. He's helped us. He's loved stuff. He's helped us build this ministry, and we truly appreciate that, and he's been a great son to us. So. And the road for him has not always been easy, even though he did come from a good home. It just wasn't always easy. And it just amazes me because his brothers were all given the same opportunity as him. And for the most part, he's the only one that has chose to walk, the straight and narrow, and done a good job and to represent his family. So we appreciate Preston. We love him, and did a great job. I think Caleb has a couple more songs, and then we'll close it out and go home.